President Obama. How are you, sir? I'm Stan, a white man, and I am really sorry for how my white friends have been treating you. I mean, you have really been under the gun these days. I thought since I have been sharing insider secrets of how we white people have been ruling the world, I could stop by and give you some pointers. Maybe even give you some tips since Congress and the Senate have completely turned against you. Perhaps I can shed some light on why this has happened. First off, you should have never trusted us white people to begin with. Even though your mom is one of us, the reality is that you are not. And this is part of the problem. You see, a black man in a White House just doesn't sit well with the good old boys. Sure, some of us loved the ideal of an African American in the Oval Office, but trust me, that was just us white people coping with our white guilt for bringing Africans into slavery. You didn't really think we were going to stay on your team, did you? We white folks were just going along for the ride, but when we woke up, the reality was that you were still a Negro in our White House. It's kind of like when we do a whole bunch of acid, weed and coke, then wake up the next morning looking for our pants. We know we messed up the night before, but we still have to go to work. And so when white America woke up and saw that you had actually made it to the White House, we were in shock. But we still had to run a plantation, even if the commander-in-chief was Negro. And this is why you have been so disrespected as a black man and president. I mean, think about it. Remember when you gave your health care speech and Joe Wilson called you a liar in front of the entire country? This was just the beginning. The truth is we white men don't want black people over us. It just gets under our skins. I'm sure you can understand. Let me put it to you like this, Mr. President. If you black people had come to power through a revolution like we whites did over you, then white America would respect you and you would have our complete support. However, you came to power because we kind of let you into office, and that is not worthy of our respect. It's a white thing, but this is truth. I know it's not right, but it's white. It's kind of like a father letting his son beat him just to make the boy feel like he has accomplished something. But you and I both know that the dad can kick that boy's ass anytime he feels like it. How can we respect you when we both know that white power is still in control despite the fact you are in our office? You're just a black man managing a white man's reality. How can we respect that? Seriously. How can we respect you when young black men are still being locked up in our prisons wholesale and you're the black president? This is beyond logic, reason and common sense and is basically a farce. Now if you had gotten into office, took on real black issues that affect your community, that would have gained you more respect. I'm not saying we whites would like it, but it sure would have shown some real balls to just turn Malcolm X on us crackers. And to tell Congress to kiss your pro-black ass. That would have cut your second term as president, but it would have gained you respect, in the eyes of your foes as well as your friends. It would have been better than what you're dealing with now. Basically your own party has turned against you. At least you could have gone out as a strong black man who didn't take any shit off us white bastards. Don't get me wrong, Mr. Obama. You have done what was thought at one time impossible in America. So I'm not trying to put you down. You being in office is a miracle. It truly is. But keep in mind that it's still our house. Even though slaves built it, the best you can do is rent. What I am trying to get you to see is that black people need to own it. Like Oprah's fat cookie-eating ass did with the TV network. Today you are trying to please everyone, and you should know that you can never please white people. We are way too bipolar for that. Plus, we are passive-aggressive. A black guy trying to play that game with us is suicide. We will beat you every time. What you need is to get mad. Get militant and Farrakhan punch us back to the Stone Ages. You should have never let us isolate you from your pastor, Reverend Wright. You fell for the trap, and now that all the whites who were shouting out your name in support have betrayed you, you cannot even go back home to your own church. Excuse my tone, but that was a punk-ass move to diss your pastor like that. And for what? To please us white folks. Come on. You know what I am saying is the truth. Now, let's get you back on track. First, you need to tell those Zionists to kiss your ass. Stop letting Israel push you around. You look stupid sending all that money over there, while your own African American and white kids here at home don't have books for school. To do this is like punching a hole in your own boat. No one would say it makes sense to clean someone else's house before you washed your own. So stop that shit. Next, if one of us white guys ever blurts out something that disrespects you again, sock him in his fucking mouth. And make sure the cameras are rolling. I swear if you did this, you would go down in history as the greatest president ever. Besides, you're the fucking president, so who is going to arrest you? Now this is very important. You can no longer believe the Republicans and their Tea Party friends are going to allow you a second term. The Democrats don't want you in either. So your best bet is to kick some ass and start taking heads. No more Mr. Nice Guy. You will have to put your foot down and live with the fact that you're no longer going to be treated like the white man's bitch. You're Barack Obama, the first black president to stand up against the establishment. That means spitting on those bitch-ass honkies every time they try and fuck with you. Remember, people may love Martin Luther King, but they respect Malcolm X. What you're fighting for is your dignity. If Nancy Pelosi gives you any lip, slap that old bitch till her face matches the crooked lipstick she wears. And watch that Nazi Hillary Clinton. She's never really gotten over the fact that she lost to you in 2008. Oh yeah, one more thing. If Rush Limbaugh tries any of that racist propaganda on you again, punch his fat doughboy ass in the gut and don't stop till he coughs up cigar smoke. For you to think these white people are your friends is the belief that elephants fuck cell phones, and microwaves fart donuts. And if you believe that, then you really are fucked. Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be rooting for you the whole way.
Our forefathers worked the fields in burning sun. They sweat and strain. But we are meant to say we won't do it again.
When I was 18, just after my first child was born, the Commonwealth Games were held in Jamaica. World records were broken. Now 48 years later, my grandson is here, 18 years old. He's entering the third stage of education. Jamaicans of Josh's age group are doing great things at the Commonwealth Games. But it's time to eject the ruling family of Britain and outlaw any ruling class in Jamaica. So over to you now, Josh.
I'm just looking forward to entering a new stage in my life, and hopefully I can spend some more time at the show where I can get advice from some other people who have been through the same things that I'm about to go through now.
Well, thanks. I'm so glad you'll be here at the University of the West Indies. Straight up, News Talk 93 FM. I'm Jerry Small. Yes, good morning and welcome to Straight Up for today. I'm your host, Jerry Small. You know, we broadcast live here from the studios of News Talk 93 FM on the Mona campus of the University of West Indies. And you know that I was playing that music. I'm going to play some more, right? For a special lady whose birthday it is today. And she is a security officer on the campus here of the University of the West Indies. The library, her name is Alicia Morgan. Alicia Morgan. And our father also is a very regular listener to this program. Thank you very much for that. So it's the birthday of Alicia Morgan. She's a security officer at the library at the University of the West Indies here. And a good friend of one of my other listeners who works at the library. That is Joan and her family. But also we can play also a lot of household helpers, you know, ladies who provide household help services all over Jamaica. A lot of them listen to this program. Everywhere I go and every day I meet people that I know, some that I don't even know. A lot of them tell me that, boy, them help listen to this program. So I usually ask them if them get enough time to do them. Say, yeah, man, them work very well. Once them can get to listen to this program meanwhile doing them work. So we're going to play a little piece more. You thought I was playing it for the Prime Minister? Precious Princess Black. She always, and she tougher than a rock and all them way there. Yeah, well, she can take it if she wants it. She can accept the play for her too. But I have another special music we play for her. You know the Crazy Glue rhythm. I'll play a little bit of the Crazy Glue rhythm, like more for the Prime Minister. Because I know that she is a glue that hold the country together. By some estimates. By some estimates. And I have a very special guest here today. We're not due to interact till about 1 hour time, but it's a part of my family now. Barack, Wagwan. What's happening?
All right, feeling good to be here in Jamaica. Number one.
Yeah, he's married to my cousin Judy. Judy Small, and I've known him for decades now. Good friend and a great brother. And him alert me to a lot of things over the years. Don't you do radio?
Oh, I do television. Television in California.
All right, we'll soon come back to you. But the Prime Minister of Jamaica is very similar to the President of the United States in the kind of impact that them have and the kind of symbolism that them hold. But we're going to come back to that.
Well, trendsetters. One African American, one woman.
Yes,
which is quite different.
Yeah, well, now, we're going to play a rest, a little more piece of Princess Black for Alicia Morgan and Kaya Morgan and all of them household helpers all over Jamaica. But today is Alicia's, Security Officer Alicia Morgan, special day. But because I'm aware and made aware every day that so many of the household helpers, just like the taxi man and the bus driver, them and the doctor, them and the bus passengers, a lot of them listen here to this program, and I appreciate that very much. Little more piece of Eddie Fitzroy, Princess Black. Please, straight up.
We don't like to stay at home, living on dependency. She says she have to struggle away, just like a man you see. She's a precious woman. Princess Black, tougher than a rock.
Yes, you know that this is a good station. This is a good radio station, you know. This is a good radio station with some good programs. And I think more and more people listening to our programs. For example, Fresh Start, the one that comes before, that starts the day's live broadcasting at 6 o'clock in the morning. Fresh Start, lot of good material and good exposure, good information and good communication. Many of them. And the one that come after this also. And right through the day, we have a lot of good programs. But it's our duty to make people know. We can't be making excuses like what Siaga and Bustamante and other people make already. That they must doing some good work, but it's because the people never know and never. It's your duty to make the people, if you are doing any good work. If it is that you are doing any good work, it's your duty to make people know. Not a matter of blowing your own trumpet. Matter of fact, people will know. So we're not going to make no excuses. It's our duty. So we're not going to come like Siaga and Bustamante and some more of them, even Portia Simpson Miller. And the whole of them, I talk about say them do some good work, but they never communicated to the people. Who them take for that? But I said this is a good radio station. And it is capable of becoming the University of Radio. This radio station here is capable of becoming the University of Radio. Not only the university radio station, but the University of Radio. Not to say that other radio stations do have no value and quality now. Yeah, man, this is a good radio station. And that's what we work to make it better. And we speak the common language of the people. And we also speak standard language of other people also. We speak standard English. I am not trying to popularize myself or the program by speaking Patois. That is my natural language. And we communicate with people mostly by using the common language of the people. But we also recognize not only the usefulness but the value of mastering, to a certain extent, standard language, so-called standard language, English, whatever standard language, whether English, Spanish, or African languages or Asian languages. It is good to master the use of standard language so that people from all over the world who speak that language will understand you. So you don't just speak the language in the way that it is spoken in your country. English is spoken in Jamaica in a certain way, in many ways, but a certain main way. English is spoken in the United States in another way, in many ways, but a certain main way, in a kind of American style. And it's spoken all over the world in different ways. But when you practice to speak standard language, standard English, the person who learn the person who stay in Germany and learn English in the classroom will be able to understand you easily, instead of having to stay in America about 3-4 months before they can really understand what an American is saying in conversation. So it is good to use the language of the everyday language of your people, and it's also good to practice standard language so that people from all over the world can understand you, and you can communicate. So we use both. So I'm not trying to popularize myself or this program by speaking in patois most of the time. We're just talking the facts of life, and we have to communicate with our people, because the benefit of this program and of any program that is well intended is to help people understand what is happening around them, or to comfort them, or to entertain them. But like the household helpers that I say, a lot of them might listen to this program. Household helpers, people who work in people's house. People usually call them maid, helper, housekeeper, household helpers. They produce a service. Because you know that most of the production in the world is either you produce goods like a camera, something that is good to do some work. That's why them call it goods. Or a motor car, it is good to transport you. Or food that is good to consume. That's why them call it goods. You produce a product, a good. You produce goods. Most of the production in the world that workers come together and produce is goods. Things that are good to use, that you can touch. Or services. So a motor car is a good, because and a truck, any mechanized form of transportation is a good. So it's goods, because they provide transport. They are capable of transporting material, whether that material is more goods or whether that material is human being, because human being make out a material. So if a transportation, if a car or a truck carries 20 people, it is transporting material, but it's human being, not dead stock. I have dead stock, I have livestock. And livestock is things that live in, like goat and cow and chickens and all those things. Those are livestock. And one of the ways, at one time our people was livestock, and up to now them is livestock, because that's how we reach. The majority of us reach in Jamaica by virtue of being captured and made into livestock. Man take us and turn us into livestock and transport us here to get himself rich off of us. So we also was livestock at one time, but anyway, somehow free ourselves from that. But what I'm saying is that some goods, like the motor car or the motor transportation, is a good because of what it can do. But the person who own it or the person who drive the car or the truck and deliver some chicken from country to town, they are producing a service. So you take the good, which is the truck, and you produce a service, which is carrying the chicken from Clarendon to Kingston. That's a service. You serve a purpose. So the truck is a good, and the carrying of the chickens is a service. So that's the two main type of things that are produced by work: goods and services. So the person who is a household helper now, they produce services. They produce services. They keep the home. They help to keep the home running smoothly and in a good way. So they are producing a service. Like our lawyer will produce a service, the service of representing another human being in some legal matter or maybe in a business matter. A doctor produces a service of health care, or they should, and most of them do. Some do not. But the training and the qualification and the profession is about producing a service. So people produce goods and people produce services, human beings. And you know that most human beings believe more in goods more than how them believe in good. It's not hard for people to slip into that priority, you know, because good, the word God or the name God is really a personification. In other words, the building of a personality around an idea. The word God really means good, all good, all good. All good things, all good qualities, all good thoughts are all connected and all come from the same source. And people usually call that source God. But it really means good. That's what it means, good. So you not only believe in good. If you have a good mind, you not only believe in good, but you know good. And you know the difference between good and bad. We human beings, even animals, know these things instinctively. Not all things about it, you know, but even animals know the difference between good and bad. And human beings know the difference between good and bad. Not every difference. Some human beings and some part of your life you are confused about some of the differences, because some of the qualities of good and some of the qualities of bad appear to be similar or appear to be the same thing. But as time goes on and as you are more enlightened, you become more aware of the difference between good and bad, more and more. And it become a habitual thing of differentiating between good and bad. That's good. So, but as I'm saying, most human beings believe more in goods more than in good. In other words, yes, most human beings talk about believing in good and really believe in good. But we have come to believe more in goods. So goods are more liable to make us feel happy than good. You know? If I have 2 cars, and I'm talking to Barack now, car mean car. If I have 2 cars, most likely I'm going to feel good. Better than if I have one car. But that feeling not going to last long. Only if I'm an idiot, that feeling going to last long.
I think it's that search for that material fulfillment. So we go for materialistic things. That find some sort of peace.
But it don't last long. One of the reasons, I just have a minute more and we're going to come back to this and to you. But one of the reasons that people tend more to believe more in goods and services more than in good is that how life has been affected in recent centuries more and more is that the rich get richer and richer and richer, and the poor get more numerous. It's not that the poor get more poor, you know. The poor get more numerous. So getting more numerous with the same amount of goods or less goods, the poor, of course, can get more poor, can get poorer. But the rich get richer because of the system. And some people believe that this is ordained, you know. Some people believe that this is never going to change.
Well, it's up to the people.
All right, I'm going to come back to you because I want to hear what you have to say. But we're going to go for a break now. But the thing about it is this, that Babylon use people like Portia Simpson Miller and Barack Obama because they are popular and they are very likable. And Babylon used them to keep the system going. I'm not accusing either of them of anything. But Babylon used them because they are very popular and they are very likable. And the rich get richer, and that's why the rich use. A matter of fact, one of the reasons why them use Portia Simpson Miller is because Babylon, one of the ingredients for the production, Babylon produce a product, and that product needs some glue, just like how this board, this thing here. This thing here, they need some glue and some nails. And Babylon needs some glue, so them use people like Barack Obama and Portia Simpson Miller as them glue. And I was very glad when Barack Obama, I said glad, it wasn't the end of the world, or it wasn't the return of Christ, no. But it gave a little, like Mandela. Make you feel good, but it's not the end of the world. It's just a milestone. And his Barack and his wife make me know about Barack Obama, Go and come back and tell about that. Yes, good morning and welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. Hello?
Jerry.
Yes, sir. What on?
All right. Before we go to my main issue.
Yeah.
You what now, Jerry?
Yeah.
A lot of us listen to the program.
Yeah.
We want this program to be a program where everybody can listen to. I hear you said that this program is going to be the University of Radio.
This radio station can be the University of Radio.
First of all, for it to be that way, you have to take things in and don't make it be a passa where people can come with hypocrisy. This is a discussion program where people deal with issue of concern. So I just give you that little part, you play the rest of the role.
Just 10 seconds, I'm going to respond to you. You don't notice over the last few days, we cut down the passa less than what it was going on. You don't notice that?
Well, I've noticed it, but it still seeps in every now and then.
But you appreciate that it's cutting down, though?
Yes, I will say you do that.
And you know so we can cut it out, too?
Of course you
not
can.
Just cut it down. Hold on. You know so that apart from cutting it down, we can cut it out, too. You know that?
We want that.
Yeah, but we can cut out the belly out of it, man.
We want that. We want the station to be a
drop out the belly out of it. Yeah, we can do that.
And heal up one another.
All right, go on with your thing. No. Yes, sir.
Is the DPP concerned more about how much money it is going to cost the government more than getting justice for the Jamaican people?
All the while you're asking me things like you want me getting a passa with it.
No, that is no
hold on. Let me don't talk, man. Don't talk. All the while you're asking me to respond on behalf of the DPP and the PPV and the PPP. You answer, Mike, because you know you want to make it.
All right. I listen to the radio.
Yeah.
The DPP is going to review the case involving the 2 youth that was kidnapped on the boulevard. And up to now, them don't find them body.
Yes, they kidnapped those youths on the boulevard. Some police hold them. And the car was found somewhere, Portmore?
In Port Royal.
Yes, car.
Port Royal. Right?
Yeah.
And what I hear the DPP is saying, 20 million was spent already.
Yeah.
And they look like they have no intention of spending anymore. So I am looking for the decision for them to throw it out of court. I'm looking for that because this is what the DPP office has done over time with evidence. Remember that case was tried already, Jerry? And it was the jurors that couldn't come to a decision, Right? They see all the evidence. They see these men own colleagues that was there come and give evidence against them. And these jurors who use their emotion instead of looking through the evidence and make a decision, right? They don't do this and cause it to reach into a dispute right now.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I don't support jury trial. To me, send it to the judge. Anything will happen, it just happen. The jury are sellout. I don't support the jury.
Well, all right. Thank you very much for keeping reminding us of this because so many times these things happen so often that we forget.
And the last minute, Jerry, you know what happened to the family? They have lost a family member since, a daughter. So they lost a son and a daughter.
Lose her how?
She died in an accident.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome back to Straight Up. Welcome.
Morning.
Morning, sir. How are you doing?
How are you, Jerry?
Fine, thank you.
So there, listen.
Yeah,
I'd like a
politician to tell me, right?
Yeah.
Right? The demise of the Jamaican people, the suffering of the poverty over the last 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I have some figures to show you
Yeah.
the mismanagement of the Jamaican economy by our leaders, our politicians, then, right? Right? Jerry, in independence 62,
yeah.
right? We had a 30% unemployment rate, right?
Yeah.
I compare with Barbados. 1960, the per income capita in Jamaica was $2,208.
Yeah.
Right? 211 it went to 4,750. Barbados, who got independence 4 years after us, Jerry, in 1960 their income per capita was 3,295, and in 2011 their income per capita was 23,600 US. That's nearly 5 times more than Jamaica, through poor fiscal management, right? That leads us into this huge debt that we have in this country, nearly 137 GDP. Oh, a politician can tell me now, right, to vote for them, right, any one of them, right, with this sort of track record, Jerry.
All right, now, who teach you to analyze all those figures and those facts that you just bring into play there? Who teach you how to analyze all those things?
I self-educate myself, Jerry. I read up things and learn and get knowledge so I can make independent decisions on my own.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of education.
Yeah.
You educate yourself so that nobody can sit you down in front of them and tell you things, right? The whole point of educating yourself is to make independent decisions. Right?
Well, you are surveying the situation in Jamaica and in Barbados over the last 50 years. The last 50 years.
Yes.
And approximately 50 years ago, Jamaica get so-called nationhood in 1962. Barbados get it in
4 years after.
Barbados get it in 1966.
Yes.
Over that time, before that time, how the riches of Barbados and the riches of Jamaica was calculated?
The riches, Jamaica was way up, way...
No, I say, how was it calculated? Or it estimated, the riches of Barbados and the riches of Jamaica?
I compare countries by the per capita income.
No, you lose sight of what I ask. I said before 1966 and before 1962, how was the riches of Barbados and the riches of Jamaica calculated?
I don't see there's any changes. It go by the GDP.
No, you said you learn some letter, and you know what they mean, but most of my listeners don't know what it means. But I'm asking you, listen here now. No, but even if you tell them say it means gross domestic product, that's still not going to let them understand how before 1966 the riches of Barbados was calculated, and before 1962 the riches of Jamaica, how it was calculated. But if we go back to the facts, we can easily let our listeners know how the riches of those two islands was calculated. How was the riches calculated before independence?
I just go by GDP in a country, Nigeria.
But you're just going over the same thing.
What I'm saying, so I don't know how listen to me.
Yeah.
How I check Zimbabwe and Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Is that we had bauxite, right? Jamaica.
Hold on there. Which we? Then how you become part of that we?
No, because I'm Jamaican, so I'm still.
Then how you did get to own some of the bauxite?
No, but the country itself.
The country?
Yes. Was the main exporter of bauxite, banana.
But you wasn't exporting a bauxite. That's what I wanted to come.
Yeah, you was kids there, but
no. Yes, but that's how I come to. Me and you was kids, but now me and you is adult. Me and you own any bauxite land here now?
No, we don't own anything. We lost all of it gone.
We lost? We don't lost nothing. You never lost nothing. You didn't own any whole land in Jamaica before?
No, Jerry.
You don't lose none. We don't lose.
I'm saying to you.
No, hear me now. I want you to understand how we in the situation that we in, you know.
Yeah.
They never bring you for own no bauxite land. And you never own no bauxite land before 62.
No.
And you never own none after.
No.
And the riches of Barbados was not calculated by what me and your cousin in Barbados did have. Or the riches in Jamaica was not calculated by what me and you did have.
Oh.
Because me and you never have anything more than some education, and maybe we can go get a job. So the only thing that we had was some But, you say how long will I take on this phone call, but it is not useless. But anyway, I want you, all of them GDP and them riches and what you talk about. You understand? It's not our own.
Right. But I'm just...
But no, we have to go, we're going 3 times amount of time up on this phone
Yeah,
call.
well, so my last one, Jerry.
No, we have to go to 2 more calls.
No,
Call me back again, because you're very interested in it. You know that you're interested?
No.
Yes, man, you're interested. That's why I take long with your phone call. Although I talk for half of it, I'm going to cut back that, because I know that I'm trying to cut back the amount of time that I talk. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Morning, Jerry.
Morning. How are you doing, sir?
Yes, I hear some people on talk show from yesterday criticizing Bill Johnson Paul.
Criticizing what?
Bill Johnson Paul.
Oh.
And they mustn't forget that a poll can take this month and show something, and next month they show a different thing.
What them criticizing about the Johnson poll?
No, like them must say what Bill Johnson come out with is something like him, Hancock or something like that.
And what them don't like about it?
I don't know, maybe they don't like what they're saying about the in favor of the JLP and Andrew Holness.
So them don't like a lot of people.
But they must remember 1980, when one minister of government called Carlstone political prostitute.
Yeah.
And by 1986, he have to apologize to Carlstone when he predict for a landslide for the PMP.
Yeah.
And that it turned out they understand that way.
Yeah.
And the next thing, cause me and the chicken go there, I'm just one listening,
Oh, yes, sir.
The next thing, is Shalman Scott a political commentator or PMP commentator?
Well, the last time I make some comment about Shalman Scott, him called me personally and him a rat. And I wasn't making the comment to hurt him, I was just talking my opinion.
Yes.
And I was asking questions like that.
Okay.
But him rat and think I was talking against him personally.
Try get him on the program. I will listen.
Try get him on the program?
Yeah, I will listen.
Why you ask if Shalman Scott is a PNP this and that? Why you ask that?
No, because I really hear him, he sound twisted, I don't know. But anyway, try get him on the program, and he's one of the 4 leading analysts right now. So you want to hear more of him, and you want people like you we talk to him like I'm supposed to talk to him.
Yes, but I don't believe that my program have to have the same whole heap of analysts and different. Sometimes we can, but I don't believe we have to have the same
program interesting.
And the same spinners and the same people. I don't believe we have to have
all right, well, if you don't
because I am here to try help my people understand Babylon system.
Yes.
And not be confused by some of the people where Babylon system use to confuse us.
Okay. Well, all right.
But I appreciate the call. Thank you very much.
All right.
Let's go for a break. Straight Up. Yes, welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. Good morning.
Good morning, Professor.
Oh yeah?
How are you today, sir?
Fine, thank you. How on?
Boy, something bad on my mind. And the more I think about it, is the more I understand how the Babylon system works.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you.
Yeah.
Is the word best comparative?
Best? No, comparative would be better.
No, man, the word in itself, great. We were told that this is the best deal. For who? For Babylon system or Jamaica, the IMF?
Oh, no, best is, I think best is superlative.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But we were told that this was the best deal. Then, Sir Jerry, if this is the best deal, what if we had a worse deal?
What if we had a worse deal?
It
would be worse off.
No, but could we be worse off than we are?
Yes, we could be worse off than we are,
And the center seems to be crumbling.
Hold on there. We could be worse off than we are, But that is no comfort. That is no comfort or no compliment to the political management of Jamaica.
Sir Jerry, when you try to take 7.5% primary surplus out of a dwindling economy.
Hear me now. Why you don't talk for my listeners understand you? Because I am not here to talk the Babylon language and to just reason at the level of the GIS and them there. So explain to the people you talk about primary this and that.
Jerry, the more we talk about it is like me I get mad. How can we have a cake and out of the cake we can take 7.5% and give it to Babylon while the people suffer.
Or you can do it?
How comes we doing something like that?
Which we doing that? You and who doing it?
The government.
So you and the government doing these things?
Yeah, to the people.
Yeah. Then why you going along with it?
I don't like it, but if I talk out, then I might lose my job.
A joke you make, man.
And the system win.
Joke you make.
If
Listen
you
here now.
talk out, you lose your job, you lose your bread.
Who you work with?
Eh?
Who you work with?
Government.
You work with government. And you can't find a way to talk out and don't lose your job.
The system.
You know, you betray yourself, you know.
The Babylon
No,
system.
hold on. You betray yourself.
But it's the truth.
I don't say you're telling lie. Betrayal usually is true, you know. In other words, the truth come out in betrayal, you know, but it wasn't intended to be found out. Why I say you betray yourself is that this. We reach a stage in Jamaica and many other parts of the world that if you and other people in your situation unite and combine together, you are able to talk out and still don't lose a job.
Exactly.
So you betray yourself by what? And know that you're somebody you're not combining with the other people who are in the same position as you. That's why you're talking about losing a job.
Sir Jerry.
Because when people unite, you wouldn't have to be talking about lose a job if you work with government.
Sir
So
Jerry.
easy.
As it is now, if you talk out, you are being referred to as anti.
No, listen here now. The people that if you work with government, the people that you work with know your voice and know that is you talking out. And you have been talking out. So something about, something about what you're saying is not true. Yet it's not sin yet. By portraying how you portray is not a sin, you know. But you're not really a level with me straight. Because people would know you and know your voice.
Yeah, but to pin down something to a man, you know, that easy, you know.
Oh. And you just say if you talk out, you will lose a job, and now you are saying to pin down something and you is not easy.
Referring to who you talk to. If you talk to somebody who can...
You hear me now? You hear me now?
Huh.
I don't need to keep no good relation with JLP, you know. And I don't need to keep no good relation with PNP. And none of them can use me. Yet they have a right. People have a right to be aligned to JLP and PNP, you know. And people have a right to phone here and put forward their points of view on behalf of JLP and PNP. Nothing wrong with that. But I don't have to do that.
Terry, you don't have to, because at the end of the month you know where your check is coming from. What about the man that...
my check. My check.
Yeah.
And you working with government.
Right.
But
and me talk tomorrow and me lose my job. What me tell me kids say?
But you talking on behalf of one of the side.
No. Me talking reality facts and what me face day to day.
Call me back again later in the program. Can you do that? Call me back. Some text messages here. Jerry, I was watching a Monday night Premier League match on Monday, September 29 on TVJ between Boys Town and Humberline when I heard some colorful Jamaican language coming through the audio. Jerry, will the Broadcasting Commission sanction them for allowing that? I don't know. Sometimes these things happen accidentally, and although a broadcasting house has a duty to screen out these things by a time delay, you have a duty to do that. But sometimes they are not penalized, just like in a football match. Sometimes they are not penalized for something that you can be penalized for. Next one. What happened? What if Ebola is already here? Since our peeps travel Africa and the world, what do you think? What if it is already here? That is sent in by DB. If it is already here, it will soon manifest. It will soon manifest. Next one. In an effort for greater community development, it would be good for all government workers to employ somebody in some form. In other words, you're working with government and you have a fairly steady job. You in turn could help to employ somebody else, but it depends on if you can afford to and if you need the service of somebody else. Because if you don't need the service of somebody else, it's not likely that people are going to employ somebody else just to do the government a good turn. But I get the idea that they're thinking about. And people, we can't think it out, you know, because it maybe can work, but it needs some more thinking. Next one, morning, Jerry. I'm a helper and I listen to you every day while working and I enjoy it. Keep it up. Love you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next one, good morning, Jerry. I was listening to Cliff Hughes' program on Nationwide recently when he was speaking of the heads of the Medical Doctors Association and Nurses Association. What do you make of these organizations that should represent the interests of their members? They are operating like arms of the PNP. What say you, Jerry? I was listening to it too, and I heard when Cliff Hughes had to say to them, matter of fact, yes, I heard when Cliff Hughes had to say to them, why are you here apologizing for the government when we are speaking to you as representatives of the doctors and nurses? And I heard somebody else phone in and say, I was listening to that interview of the PNP-YO and there's something like Young Patriots, and Cliff Hughes couldn't understand for a while till he realized that the person was reacting to the medical doctors and the spinners. That they seem to be nothing different from the youth arms of the PNP. Well, that is how some interest groups, that's how the so-called leaders of some interest groups steer them interest group. Next one. News Talk is not playing good in Westmoreland for the past week. Glad for the information. I'll soon read the rest of this text message. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, Jerry.
Welcome, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man no say just pay, you know. Yeah, the man come up with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And through you know that I get paid, you tax me also. Apart from your government tax me, you tax me too.
Me not tax you our money, and the whole on what I take it.
So the money that I work now is your money. That's why you demand some from me.
No, yeah, because of them people that pay you.
Yeah, and that's why
we know the payroll.
Yes, and that's why you demand some of my money.
Yes, because it depends them.
Cause if you,
some of it depend you.
Yes, if you want to play dirty, you see, I can play dirty too, you know. You know? Does come in like Jerry? Tell me now. No, you see, it don't wash out. It don't wash out. And you come from the boils.
Jerry, listen, Jerry. You know, the people them call out mostly time, right? In the first time call out whatever, and them the fun. Jerry, but let the show, man, keep it up, man.
Yeah.
It sounds good, don't it?
Yes, but you know that I don't fret.
No, them tell them things to say. And then them say, man, you make them laugh.
Yeah,
because the peer joking things,
yes.
You show it's just about joke.
Yeah.
Because it make me, when me can just laugh. Because the rest of people, they know me. Because you're not talking nothing to every day you come out, you oppose the government, the PNP them. You talk about PNP every day. Use the time, no man, and tell people, what to do and all them kind of things there.
Yeah.
You know? But every day you don't find the PNP. Every day. You understand? And the glue we are talking about,
yeah,
it's thick and them now go move.
Nah, move.
Nah, but you're mad, man.
No, are you mad? Are you mad? All right, we're going to play Crazy Glue rhythm for you. Let it go up on our day. The lady with the starlight. Let it go, let it go.
Lady, lady, lady with the starlight, a lovely starlight that shines so bright.
Good morning. With the latest headlines, I'm Kayla Wright. Citizens Action for Principle and Integrity CAPI has raised concerns over the Prime Minister's decision to appoint Minister Derek Callier as Minister of Agriculture while he retains the Labour and Social Security portfolio. The announcement was made last night by the Office of the Prime Minister OPM that Kelly, who had been appointed as Acting Agriculture Minister, will now officially replace the late Roger Clark. But co-convener of CAPI, Dennis Meadows, says with the Agriculture Ministry being a critical growth center and part of the government's growth strategy, the industry deserves a dedicated minister rather than one who is also responsible for another portfolio, particularly one as large as the Labour and Social Security Ministry. The Jamaica Civil Service Association, JCSA, says it is now awaiting a response from the Public Services Commission on its appeal of the dismissal of J. Harris from the Youth and Culture Ministry. The JCSA President, Anil Grant, says the union submitted the relevant documents with the Commission last week. Grant says the union is hoping for an early date for a hearing. He says the union maintains that Harris's dismissal from her post as Principal Director of Culture in the Ministry last month was unjustified, as Harris was not given a valid explanation about why she was being dismissed, neither was she allowed a hearing to challenge the dismissal. The union is claiming that this is a breach of her rights to due process and a fair hearing. And fighting continues to rage in the Syria-Turkey border of Kobani, with Islamic State IS militants moving into a southern district. The US-led coalition has carried out more airstrikes to try to aid the Syrian Kurd defenders. However, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has warned that airstrikes are not enough and Kobani is about to fall. At least 400 people have died in 3 weeks of fighting for Kobani, monitors say, and 160,000 Syrians have fled. And those are the stories making the latest headlines. News next at 11 o'clock. Stay tuned. Straight Up with Jerry Small continues. I'm Kayla Wright.
Good morning and welcome back to Straight Up. We're going into the second hour of our program here. Going to take a few phone calls there before I start to talk with my guest here, Barack. And just before that, that lady there, she phone all the while, and we enjoy hearing her more time. Talking about Jerry fight against PNP and all them with it. She don't even understand her head from her toe. You what now? The PNP start out as a nationalist organization, nationalist organization, similar to the ANC and all those. And start, to pursue liberating Jamaica from under the colonial yoke and go out as a nation, stand up as a nation. But them get diverted along the way, like many other nationalist movements. Most nationalist movements get diverted along the way. Some succeed, like all Cuba. Many nationalist movements and many revolutions take place in Cuba now. Over and over, they always get diverted and hijacked and get drawn back under the same old time system. So it many times, some countries have to go through many times, many attempts before them finally shake free from that. But the leadership of the PNP, when it comes to the test, them lack courage, and like what Norman Manley say, them lack courage and lack fixity of purpose. So them start out alright with good intention, but when it comes to staying the course and fixity of purpose, which them own first president Norman Manley said, them not really adapt that. And then get diverted completely. Courage wasn't there, and the leadership never wide and deep enough. And them get switched, and them just decide to go along with Babylon. So them just become one of the typical Babylonian party that is in most countries. And them just decide, say, boy, this thing can't change, So all we going to do, we just going to go along for the ride and enjoy office and power as long as possible as the local agents of Babylon. And you move up and become recognized, and people like Portia Simpson Miller become a dream come true story of a poor girl getting education, working in a political organization and moving up in stature till she become the leader. She come from out of nowhere and become the leader now, and is a very encouraging symbol for poor people and for rural people and for uneducated people and so on. And it look good. So that is all. The PNP are one of the biggest disappointments in the history of Jamaica because them lack the fixity of purpose and the courage, and then now they pirate them, the out and out pirate them now, hijack it. And that's something completely different now from what it did really start out to be. That's all. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Hi, Jerry. Good morning to you.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing, ma'am?
And to Jamaicans everywhere.
We don't want no expletive this morning, do we, no, ma'am?
I don't want to stop.
Yes, you talked some expletive yesterday.
I did not, honey. I never did.
I nearly come here and wash out your mouth with brown soap. With brown soap.
Anyhow, I want to say good morning to you and the staff and to Jamaicans everywhere, all the well-thinking, hard-working Jamaicans.
Yes, ma'am.
Who are trying to battle this evil thing that is upon us in this country.
Yeah.
And I want to say good morning to you, Garnet. You know, no. Nothing, no bad feeling against you or anything like that. Because we come a long way back from Lake Smart's time. You and also Night Owl or whatever his name is, you know, we're a long way, we're coming from a long way. Nothing. It's just that, Jerry, you know, a 3-hour program. Your program is from 9 to 12. It's just a 3-hour program, okay? Yeah. And I do not believe that any caller at all should be given more than one call per 3-hour period, you know. Just one call, you know. I mean, because there are thousands of people out here who would like to talk to you, you know. And I mean, you know, if a caller is going to come for more than one for the 3-hour period, that makes no sense. I'm not calling from a long line. My phone is a mobile phone. It costs me. Sometimes it costs me $30, $40, up to $50, and I still don't get to talk to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? But it's expensive, you know.
Yeah.
The long line people have the opportunity of calling and waiting and holding up the line, which is not fair to other people.
But I don't think you want to use all of your minutes talking about that, though.
No. I just want to tell the people in this country that a plague is upon us. A terror plague is upon us. And they don't have the answers, you know. Nobody has the answers. Doctors don't have the answers because they're just, you know, they don't know what it is. And you only have to ask.
They don't know what
God to keep us, you know.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The chicken?
Yeah, it's a chikungunya.
No, I mean they don't know what it is. I mean.
They say it is that we don't know. It's a plague. It's a plague that is upon us. It's a plague, okay? Okay? You know, doctors they come and tell you all sorts of stuff, which is total lie. Some of them they don't have they don't have the answers. Because these mosquitoes were brought here. You know what I feel? You know what I believe? That the mosquitoes were brought here, you see? And they were deposited out of the pond out there in St. Thomas. They call it the
yellow spot. Yeah.
But guess what? They could not have survived there because the yellow spot is a salt water. The yellow spot is a part of the sea, okay? It's not a pond. It's a part of the sea. I think that yellow sand was created by some volcano or some earthquake or something some years ago because that was separated from the sea cell. It is a part of the sea, so mosquitoes could never survive in that water there.
So
we're all over Jamaica now.
So your mind tell you that somebody bring the virus here?
They were brought here. The mosquitoes were brought here.
Yeah, who bring them?
God knows, whoever knows, I don't know who, but the mosquitoes are brought here.
Yes, okay. And then what, they bring them here to let them go so that what will happen to Jamaica?
That's to kill off everybody.
Also,
this pain.
All right, hold on a little. Yes, ma'am, hold on a little. Yes, hold on a little now. So now, which force in the world now you think really want to kill off all Jamaicans?
I don't know, some wicked somebody somewhere or another.
Yeah.
Some wicked evil people.
Yes, okay.
They're all over the world.
Yes, okay.
Because that's what is happening in the Ebola in Africa.
All right.
That thing was created by man.
Thank you very much.
Man-made thing, you know.
Yeah, thank you very much. You go home and you put your leg them up and stay tight, yeah?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello? Hello? Morning. Welcome. Straight Up. Not there? Some more text message, please. Yes, good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello? Welcome. You listening?
Yeah.
Yes, Maya. Walk on.
Yeah, give thanks and praise, man. Rastafari, Jah live forevermore, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we start this morning about the program on the radio station, you know?
Yeah.
And I really show, man, the radio station reaching places and the program reaching places.
Yeah.
Because here on my rate program now, you know, Mr. Small, I don't know how some people take up the poll, you know, but me take up the poll by all the young people who react to the station or to the program, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, me always rating top of young people, you understand?
Yeah.
And I can tell them, man, I say this program is straight up. There are many times in my car and all, school as Mr. Small. Like, then just come out of a taxi when they come in my taxi.
Yeah.
And always honest to them and say, oh, driver, you're up on the right station, man. And that just a plane of that car there, you know, we love it, you know.
Joe?
Yes, man. So, remember, there was a time, you know, schoolers coming in your car, them want your certain CD, certain song, you know?
Yeah.
Them all right to the program. So, me I say, well, this is good, man. So, when you reach young people and you know, say, you have it luck, you know? That they want, you know, because we have to reach out to the younger generation, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man. You also said there was a time we were just livestock, you know?
Yeah, part of the livestock, yes.
Yes, man, we were just part of the livestock because I have a book, you know, written by Frederick Douglass. I don't know if you hear about that man there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, Frederick Douglass, man, a little youth is partaking in slavery from he was about 6 years old, you know?
Yeah.
And every little interval, Mr. Small, they have slaves selling, you know. And when they put up the sign, like when they go into a restaurant and you see the menu or go in a shop and you see whatever goes to them up.
Yeah.
And so at each interval, you know, where they are selling, you know, them say slave, donkey and fowl and other cattle, you know.
Yes, other chattel.
Yes, other cattle. So that's just how you rated.
Yeah, man, chattel mean goods. You hear me?
Yes.
Chattel mean goods that can move, you know, different from a house or a piece of land. Or well, a house that plant down in the ground. That's why in Barbados now, most of the house them can lift up and move, you know. Like you ever go Westmoreland, you see how the house them built and can lift up and move. Most of the board houses.
Yes, man, down at Westmoreland and also for St. Mary, some of them do.
Yes. Well, they call that chattel house because it can lift up and move. So chattels is goods or possession that can move around.
Oh, I never really look at the word like that, you know.
Yeah.
I never look at the word like that. Boy, I never too old to learn you, man.
No, sir.
Yes. Because look, you know, man, when time I transport you from Africa, you know, Mr. Small, that's why I tell you, Marcus Garvey says you don't know your history, you're like a tree without a root, you know, Mr. Small.
Yeah.
Remember when the Zang came into Black River, Mr. Small?
When the ship named Zang?
Yes. Remember that Zang live Africa, you know, and in those time, you know, they travel from Africa, come across the Atlantic, Europe and Caribbean, would that take like about 8-10 weeks.
Yeah.
And there was, yeah, man. And the Zang, you know, the Zang left at that time with over 400 passengers recorded. And they must say, boy, the ship had run out of food and water.
Yeah.
Because most of us could die, you know, Mr. Small. Most of my mother and father dead, you know.
Yeah.
In the monument down the Black River right now with them start massacre and them say, boy, the boat was taken in water. But me no say no boat was taken in water. But what is so cruel about it is that these people went to England, you know, Mr. Small, and claim insurance, you know.
Yes, insurance.
Yes. And when they were claiming the insurance, you know, the insurance, like, they never want to pay because them say, boy, they don't understand how this thing go. So them refer it to the court.
Yeah.
I don't know, so when time we go to court, you know, it was just discussed and said, boy, it's just a human collateral, the people, you know.
Yeah.
Like in other words, you are just a cargo of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and them claim them insurance and them good up and running again and gone back into the trade.
Yeah. I have to go now, but that brings to mind that when them buy some of the Africans, them insure them too. That if you run away, when you and me escape, them get back some money, you know. Because them take a risk, them insure. You know that?
Right.
All right, well, call back again soon here, sir. I'm going to go to my
Yeah, man, give thanks, man. We're coming a far way still, man. We have to take time and know ourselves, you know, Mr. Small.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
As much as we're still in the slavery, but we have come out little by little, man. Because we're mind free already, you know, so we just want to free up the body, you know.
Yes, sir. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
man, give thanks and praise.
Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you doing, sir?
All right, sir. Morning. Me again. Master Jerry,
Yeah.
I have two things to ask you, but as you know, I'm unlearned and ignorant. Can't spell good, can't write good, and all them things.
Yeah.
Master Jerry,
Mm.
you believe is the government is to be blamed to what they're going on with, or is the people?
For what them going on with?
Yeah.
The government are responsible for them action, man.
Yeah, them responsible for action. But you say, we is the boss.
Hold on.
You know how to imply people are what, because you said the voters is the boss, you know. May I go off of your word?
Yeah, and the government is who?
No, you have explained it because you say, we is the boss. You said the
We passed that already. We passed that already. Yes. You said that.
The worker is the boss. No, the boss dictate terms to the worker.
I said that the minister, the word minister means servant. And who's supposed to be serving us? Acting as a boss and a governor, and people regarding them like them as the boss.
Excuse me, Master, I don't have enough time. Master, excuse me. I'm not cutting you. I understand that. Me easy to understand. Master, it is true that in America, wages don't raise often, but things don't go up. In other words, they don't raise things.
Food prices don't raise as fast as in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I don't think so, yes. I think that is true.
But in Jamaica, what they do is when they raise the thing out of proportion, and after it raise out of proportion, all them do is tax you as a poor man. Like the JUTC bus, them say $20 too much. But them accept the American dollar 100 to 1. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, when I want to say again before I close, this is when a government agree with homosexual, it don't even want to cut down the population, why I agree with it?
When them agree with homosexual?
The only reason any human being or any government or any church should agree with homosexual is the only fact that they want to cut down the population. That is right?
When you say agree with homosexual, what do you mean?
Say it is right.
Say
they have their right.
Say it is right.
Business with them, but there is no right in it. They're fighting against God because God don't know him, God are idiot. If he make a way for cool in the nation and you say, God, them about.
All right, hold on.
The Bible say, woe, be unto them. That lead my people.
All right, hold on now.
To them that call wrong, right.
All right, wrong. Hold on,
you understand? Woe be unto them. When you have sin, you
hold on a little.
But woe take the whole away a bowl and
hello
and chicken gonna kill you off.
Hello. You are there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You want to become a police person who go around and find out all who is
I'm not talking about go around, sir. With due respect.
Why you cut it? Why when look here? Look here. Why when you chat up? Hello. Hold on.
Telling them.
Hold on. Why when you chat off your mouth, I allow you all 2-3 minutes, and then as
all right, boss. Your time now, my boss.
I'm not your boss, but you now want to be a boss over homosexual. So you want to go around and boss? Not that you want to.
I'm not bossing them. As I support the whole Jamaica,
no,
the whole world becomes homosexual. The population will cut down.
Look here, them is not a problem to me. The only time them is a problem to me is when them invade other people and go and rape them, or if them want to come penetrate my son and the other like youth them and thing. When a homosexual can't find him other next boyfriend, that's not a problem to me. If find him boyfriend, them go one side. But you want to be a police over them. No, too much. We're going over the time. We're going over the time. We have left him behind. Good morning. Next call. We don't have no more. All right, we don't have no more. We're going to come to our guest here now. Yes, Barack, how are you doing?
All right, doing fine in Jamaica today.
I don't know if you realize that sometime about 2005 or 2006, it was you and Judy, your wife, who is my cousin, who alerted me and told me there's a young man named Barack Obama who is going to be the next president of America. Is you made me know, you and Judy. I don't remember which one are you.
It was Judy.
Yeah, she made me know about him.
When he spoke at the Democratic Convention.
2004.
Yes, he gave a very powerful speech.
Yeah.
And very charismatic individual.
Mm-hmm.
And he had words that people wanted to hear, which is unique with most politicians.
Yeah.
But Judy had a vision, a dream that he was going to be the next president of the United States, contrary to what a whole lot of people thought otherwise. There is no way.
Yeah.
Taking on Hillary Clinton, who had the trappings of Bill Clinton and the luggage that goes with that.
Everything going for her.
Yes. She thought it was an automatic.
Yes.
But life and people can change ill-fated things in a way. Because I don't think she had the stamina to be president. And I feel that way even now, because it's the same scenario going on right now.
And I personally, even though I know that this would not change the system in America, I still was glad to see a black person, an African American, reach that level in American politics, because it is still a symbol of changes taking place.
And the words that you use, African American, he truly is
truly
African American,
yeah.
Which in itself was symbolic in so many ways across the world. I went to D.C. for the first inauguration, and it was a beautiful sight to see people from all over the world came to witness this group of this individual that once was considered chattels.
Chattel. Property.
Right.
And as you say, he truly is an African American because his father traveled from Africa to the United States with a purpose to get to further education. And in this whole mission that he took up, he also happened to father a child with a white American, but was truly an African American child.
Right. And America is still riveting from his presence in the White House. As Marcus Garvey would say, the White House was not built for a black man. But here in 2014, we have that occupant in the White House. But is it safe for him in the White House? I'm pretty sure most of the listeners are familiar with someone jumping over the fence with a hatchet, rounds of ammunition, and where was security at?
And he and his daughters had just left around the corner a few minutes before to show you how close I am. Anyway, Farrakhan. Farrakhan is due to visit Jamaica in about 12 days.
Well, times have changed. For
For
Farrakhan to be greeted in Jamaica.
To be welcome,
Yes.
Well, I mean, many people would have welcomed him from 40 years ago, you know. But the government and the establishment would not have welcomed him.
And I want to address that the government and most of the listeners, they don't understand the political systems that they up under. They go by emotions. They don't educate the young people to be more involved in the political process. There's a stagnation in all the political systems in the world. Due to a lack of infusion of new blood. There's no.
And is this deliberate or accidental?
Oh yes, it's deliberate. It's by design. Like the mosquito.
So
carrying certain things.
So they don't want too much new blood, new ideas to come in that will change point of view and change approaches.
Change the system. Change the system across the world, because they do not want that unity of what great leaders talked about, that what happens in Jamaica impacts what happens in China or United States or India or beyond. They don't want that universal connection. Separation makes money.
Yes, exactly. Separation makes money.
Big money.
Because if if the mass of the people were as united as the wealthy, the money would share more.
Oh.
The results, the products
would be faster.
Would share more.
Well, for example, you take I'll say the roads in Jamaica, the conditions of the roads that the everyday people have to travel, be it by vehicle or by foot. Who's responsible for fixing those roads? It's supposed to be the government. But the government won't react unless the people band together and say, fix it now. They'll come up with the money like overnight. But if they don't hear the voice of the people, they're not going to respond.
No, they use the money to do whatever they please to do until they are in trouble.
But the people have to be active enough to say, we need to fix this. You, as a representative of me paying your salary, because sometimes the people are impacted so much that they think they lack the power, that they don't have the power, but they really do. They have the power.
They have the potential, but not the power.
They have the potential to unleash that power.
All right, we're going to go for a break and come back.
Sounds good.
Straight up. Welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. I'm a guest here today. Black.Barack is a member of my family. I am a member of his family. His name is Barack. What is your family name, Barack?
Last name Walker.
Yeah. But you're born and grow in what state?
Chicago. Notorious Chicago.
That's what, Illinois?
Illinois. Gets more recognition for Al Capone than they do for Barack Obama.
Oh, yes, it's Obama town also.
Yes.
Then how you got involved in television program?
I don't know if the viewers are familiar with Rodney King. Rodney King was an African-American male that was involved in a police chase, in a sense. He was savagely beaten by the police officers. A riot eventually broke out.
But one of the main reasons for that is that somebody videotaped the beating.
Yes.
How come somebody videotaped the beating?
They just happened to have a video. And at that moment, from their balcony, they witnessed something taking place. The notorious LAPD doing what they do best in the darkness of the night.
Yes, and they usually get away with it because there's not usually somebody capturing it on video.
And then you have the code of silence, where officers that may not be that way tend not to say anything.
Not all of the police are wicked.
Right.
But when one wicked one or 2 or 10 wicked ones do something, the 20 and the 100 not wicked ones prefer not to say anything.
And that is the hypocrisy of silence. Silence is the biggest killer, whether it's politically or socially, when people don't say anything. But they witness something wrong. Silence is a torturer in a slow way, whether it's domestic abuse or anything violent. So someone asked me to come on the show and to talk about police violence.
After the Rodney King thing.
Yes, and so I appeared on the show. It was a panel discussion. The lines were heating up, and someone asked me, you need to stay on it longer. So I stayed longer, and the phones jumped off, and then someone said, well, hey, you ever thought about doing a TV show? So I said, yeah, I'll give it a shot. So my first show that I did, series of shows, focused on first-time writers of books. If you ever pen a book, if you ever are author of a book, it was like giving birth to a baby. It might take you a couple of years to get it published, then find a distributor. It is a maze of activity that you have to go through. But once you have it printed, you are like so happy and you want to share it with the world. So my job was to interview those various authors with new books. And then that expanded on to moving to another community and focusing on various subjects from A to Z. Like the last guy I interviewed was he's an older guy now, the first Chicano in the White House.
Chicano is what, Mexican?
Yes. First Chicano in the White House. He was up under the Richard M. Nixon.
So he was working in the White House on the staff.
Yes, Dr. Ramirez.
Yeah.
He promised Richard M. Nixon that he could get him 27% of the Latino vote, because the first time around, Nixon only got 5% of the vote. So they said, you got to find me a Latino. He has to be dark-skinned. He has to be married. Okay? And he must know something about numbers. He delivered the 27%. Nixon wins the election. Republicans embrace the Latino population. He will give amnesty to 2 million Mexicans.
In other words, 2 million Mexicans who are in the United States illegally.
Yes, got redemption.
Are going to
they got redemption.
They're going to get to stay.
So they embrace the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Black folks got the civil rights diluted bill passed.
Yeah.
So they embrace the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
So the great divide.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we of various ethnic groups are just pawns in the game.
Yeah, they just use you.
Yes.
Use it to make up numbers or to split numbers.
Yes. So now that bulging population, Latinos, which cover from Mexico all the way down to South America, are caught in a dilemma. Which way are they going to go now? Because the Republican Party in the United States is in total disarray. It's to one extreme, there's no moderation.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party lacks a backbone in America. I mean, they don't even support their own president.
Yeah.
Okay? And Barack Obama constantly says, change starts at the bottom. And if you know anything about the political process, that you know at the bottom is how people get elected. From those people that put on their marching boots and put their boots on the ground, they create the change. But sometimes they don't stay constant with it, because the other side start working. They'll take, what is your strength? For example, Barack Obama's strength is his ability to articulate to the masses.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They start saying, all he does is talk. He talks beautifully, but he doesn't get anything done.
Yeah.
They will take your strength and make it your weakness.
So he that's what I was saying earlier. He is very similar to Portia Simpson Miller.
Yes.
Somebody who has risen up from an unexpected place and is very likable and who knows how to communicate.
And behind the scenes, most people don't understand, the Prime Minister Portia, what goes on in the background. She's dealing with so many elements that's pulling her to the left, to the right. Where's your ground?
Yeah.
There's so many forces, we don't have a clue. And like they always say, the media has the last word. They can shape you or bend you either way. And so the average person will pick up a newspaper and say, oh, well, she's done a horrible job. She's not getting anything accomplished. We need to put someone else in there.
Well, the system is different in Jamaica.
No, they're all the same. They're either corrupt.
They're all connected. But in Jamaica, the people don't elect the head of government.
Right.
The head of government.
Right.
Now,
but their influence is strong enough to impact those that make the decision.
Yeah. Now, in America, most of the African American people, the black people, they live in rented accommodation, or they own their own accommodation.
Well, like when you talk about owning or renting, a lot of it has to do with the family environment that you come out of. If you taught at an early age it's better to own something, or we had this in our family for years, and it's passed down and young people hear it, you have a sense of ownership.
Yeah.
Like Jamaican will tell you in a minute, I got me a piece of land.
Yeah.
African American to tell you, I own a car. Understand the thought process.
Yeah. Now, you know that if people don't own any land at all,
no,
they are at a severe disadvantage. Not true?
Very true, because land is power. he who controls the land controls whatever goes up there or whatever can happen. And most young folks don't have a clue about that. Except when you think of the nation of China, they know the power of owning and influence land they go after. And this is a country that we were taught, at least I was, through the educational system, that China was bad.
Yeah.
But now China, economically, almost owns the United States.
Yeah.
You know, because they go for the pure gold. They're not looking for paper money. Yeah. They say, when you pay us, give us gold.
Yeah. And this happened just in what? About 40 years, little more than 40 years.
That's right. And who was the orchestrator behind that? Richard M. Nixon. Remember, he toasted with the head of champagne.
Yeah, I think it was 1971, he took a trip to China and met with Mao Zedong.
Yeah, or the
revolutionary leader of China.
Yes.
Who was thought to be dead. Matter of fact, for months they didn't see him, and they thought he was dead. Yeah. Every now and again they think he's dead because they don't see him for a year or for some months.
He avoiding a bullet.
Avoiding a bullet.
Yeah, avoiding that. And then it's so ironic. You take a country like Cuba, and it cannot have friendship with Jamaica, at least in the eyes of America, because they don't want that. But why? Why? Why not? Because a sense of unity is a scare.
But I don't know if you know that up to the 1950s, a high proportion of the economy of Cuba was controlled by mafia from Chicago.
Oh, yeah. And Florida. It was the playground.
Gangster.
Yeah, it was the playground for the rich folks. It was Vegas on the island.
Yeah.
What they would love to do to Jamaica, too. Throw in a couple of slot machines and everybody come down here and, you know.
So the Cubans were like second-class citizens.
Right.
And the economy of Cuba was not only owned by foreigners, but criminal elements at a high proportion of that ownership there.
Gangsters hang out.
Yeah. So now the militancy of the African people, the black people in America, that got some results, especially in the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 1960s, it looked like it was becoming even more militant. In various ways. Some ways in organizational ways, and in other ways, you could say organizational, but more militant ways like the Black Panthers. Physical defense.
Confrontation.
Self-defense.
Self-defense. Self-defense first and primary. But what did Hoover decide with the COINTEL program was to eliminate.
Hold on. Hoover is Edgar Hoover, who was the head of the CIA, of the FBI.
Yes.
For about 50 years.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And COINTELPRO was a plan how to infiltrate, to get into the black organizations and split them up and destroy them.
Right.
Tell us about COINTEL.
And that was primarily because the Black Panther Party was building a international following.
Yeah.
It was not just isolated to, quote, a civil rights movement.
Yeah.
It was pushing forward towards a human rights movement, which had an international connection, which was very much under the philosophy of Malcolm X. Yeah. Internationally, we need to bring our problems before the world court.
Yeah.
And that in itself created the fear. A black man with a gun talking about defending himself, which still goes on right now today.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll come back on that.
All right.
Welcome back to Straight Up. I'm your host, Jerry Small. We have as our guest here today, Barack, who is my cousin's husband and visiting from America, born and grew in Chicago area, living in California now. Yeah, living in California. But listen here now. In the United States of America, the right to bear arms and to self-defense, that is recognized.
That's right.
Is that so?
That's right. Embedded in Bill of Rights.
Explain more.
embedded in the Bill of Rights that you have a right to own I guess you would say, a weapon. You have the right to bear arms, to have them within your house. Fundamental right.
Yeah.
Okay? But when the Black Panther Party brought it up in the late 60s, early 70s, it was a very frightening thing to not elected yet Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
He's seen that he was like terrorized.
That time Reagan was what? Governor of California.
Yes.
So, and California was one of the strongest places where the Panthers were.
Yes. Yes. Well, originated in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland.
In the Bay Area. And it originated over something so small, they wanted a traffic light put up or a stop sign.
Mm. The African American wanted a stop somewhere that it was needed. They wanted a stop sign to be put up somewhere it was needed. And the city and the government didn't want to put it up.
No, didn't want to do it.
And therefore, I know what happened.
And from then on, then the Black Panther Party stopped pushing that movement that it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And eventually it did happen. And then they started monitoring police behavior.
Yeah.
Like if you got stopped, they would stand around and question.
In other words, when the police harass the young African, whether young or the African, the Black American, especially in the neighborhood, the people would come around and observe and watch everything, and the police couldn't get to do what they're doing without being witnessed.
Yes, it's like a 3 o'clock roadblock, as Bob Marley would say in his songs, you know. But they would have a witness, and they would challenge, because the law is a weapon.
Yeah.
And it depends upon what side of that law that you're on how you're able to use that weapon.
Yeah.
It could be to your benefit, or it could be to your detriment. But the law is a weapon. But it's so strange now because we have this movement in America now called the Tea Party.
Yeah.
And they talk about the right to bear arms and all that there. But when that incident happened in Ferguson, Missouri, where the young African-American man did the universal I surrender, hold hands up, and still was gunned down, there was an eerie silence in the white community overall. The Tea Party people said nothing.
Yeah.
Television remained very quiet.
Recently, about a couple of years ago, Bill Cosby, among other people, but most markedly, Bill Cosby, most successful African-American, multi-millionaire, you know, just as though in the female, in the counterpart of him in the female world is Oprah Winfrey, very, very successful, probably billionaire. But Bill Cosby came out and started talking some plain truths to the African-American, especially the young African-American. But it wasn't very... It wasn't received very kindly by some people. Was he talking to help them improve themselves, or was he putting them down?
I think what it boils down to is the tone of how you address an individual to fix the situation can either encourage them or they can make them say, "Shut up, man."
Yeah.
So his tone came across very abrasive.
Yeah.
But it was something that needed to be heard. But the tone was a turn off, not a turn on. The tone to how you speak to young people, because across the world there's a fear of young people because we don't communicate enough with young people. You know, we see this image of them and we think, oh, I don't want to be bothered with them, you know, from... Like we was talking earlier, how music has greatly changed. Before music be a positive, lyrics would come out. Now it's all about sex and it's in your face, and there's nothing talking about uniting or making something better. It's about the bling, I got the money, I got the cigar, I got the fancy car.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you how I got it. I sold some crack, I sold some dope, but that message has been lost. And to me, a lot of African Americans in the States, they have lost their ability to be the moral conscience of the world.
Yeah.
As Dr. King said, we are the moral conscience of America. We've lost something there. We're trying to reclaim it and regroup it, but it's the forces of negativity that are always promoted to be stronger than what they are.
People, many admirable people have risen up in the hardest at times.
Oh, yeah.
Like the lady who set the example in the boycotting of the bus in
Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks.
I was fortunate enough to meet her.
Yeah.
It was truly a blessing. A woman that was very mild-mannered, but had passion in her heart.
Yeah, very quiet and mild-mannered, but she refused to be pushed around.
Right. I was tired, she said. And her husband belonged to the Deacons for the Defense, a self-defense organization.
Yeah, in other words, black people not supposed to, in 1955, black people not allowed to sit down in the front part of the bus.
But there was a certain mechanism that took place that most people don't know. The bus would pull up.
Yeah.
You would go to the front of the bus, pay your money, get off the bus, and walk around to the back door.
In other words, you can't stay in the bus through the front door. You can only come into the bus through the front door to pay.
Right.
Then you come out back and walk through the back door.
Yes. And she knew
this is worse than slavery.
And she knew the bus driver.
Yeah.
It wasn't a stranger. This wasn't like a random act. But history sort of paints it this way. And then they make it seem like she was an old lady. She wasn't an old lady. She was 27 years old.
Yeah. That's how young she was.
Yes.
So after she paid that day, what did she do?
Well, she got that day was a rainy day. And she just, I'm sick and tired. I'm tired of going through this process.
Yeah. So she did not go back through the front door.
No.
She walked down the aisle.
Sat in the front.
And sat in the front of the bus.
Yes.
And did the driver refuse to drive any further?
I think, well, they called the sheriffs. So at the next stop, she got arrested.
Yeah.
And what did that propel? That propelled Dr. King to start his journey.
And he was also about 25, 26 years old.
Yes, very young guy, very shy, intellectually very smart.
Yeah.
Okay, but really didn't want the movement.
No.
But it was thrust upon him. And I try to tell everyone and to the listeners out there, you are made for the moment.
Yeah.
God makes nothing out of season. You're made for the moment. It might take 50 years, it might take 100 years, but you're made for that moment. So when you make decisions, make wise decisions. Because you're made for the moment to deal with whatever you have to deal with, you're made for it. Just like me sitting here.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to come here and be on the radio.
Yeah. But you were ready for it?
I'm ready for it. I hope the listeners think I'm ready for it.
Now, Rosa Parks, she decided that she's not going to put up with it anymore.
Right.
Martin Luther King also, he has thrown into service.
Right.
And a whole series of people coming up. Malcolm X just come out at that time. Malcolm X had recently come out of prison.
Yes.
Turning him life around inside an organization and helping to clean up other young black man because they were the biggest proportion of the people in prison.
And you have to understand that we interjected Hoover's name, head of the FBI.
Yeah.
He had this fear of a young black messiah coming on the scene, changing the course of America. So
go ahead.
So we don't know where this black messiah is right now, but his moment is going to come.
Yeah.
Now, to some people, they thought maybe it was Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And his term ain't over with yet.
Yeah.
So we don't know, but I know one thing, that Hoover's main mission was
to crush any such guy.
Any
such baby.
Right. And who's to say if it couldn't be a female?
Yeah.
Because some of the most powerful social movers have been women in moments of crisis.
Yes.
You know? And who's to say that Hoover's thought or plan was strictly for just America? There's a black messiah in Jamaica. There's one in Japan. There's one in China.
And one traveled from Jamaica into the United States.
Yes.
And that is how the FBI started. Started off to keep Marcus Garvey and the UN and the American black people, not Marcus Garvey, to keep the American black people under check. And here comes this young black guy, and I think that's one of the first projects of Hoover.
That was it. So that seed is there. That's why if you study history, you find out areas that posed a major threat to the world. They always want to keep that area totally suppressed. Take the country like Haiti. Okay? They had an embargo against that country for years.
Yeah.
For years. Why? Because they defeated a world power.
Militarily.
And other countries said, that's a bad example.
Yeah, because it's going to spread. That example going to spread.
Those black folks can't let that happen.
Yeah.
So suppress it, suppress it, suppress it. The same thing that goes on in the various countries throughout Africa. They got independence, but what did they put in there? Other dictators.
Yeah.
People that had that European thought process.
Yeah.
Suppression, murder, and torture.
Yeah, man. Well, it's time for the 11 a.m. headline news. We're going to spend the rest of the time here. I'm going to go back to my phone call. Some of the people might want to talk to you.
All right.
Yes, good morning. Welcome back to Straight Up. We're into the third hour of our program. And I want to play a little piece of music, but we're going to get it in between phone calls and text messages. I'm going a couple text messages here. Yeah, Sky Up. Everybody on this wonderful Monday. Sky up everybody on this wonderful Monday. Most wanted record says Sky up Luster, Stone Love, Bodyguard, BS Odyssey. Yeah, I'll get them text messages from Most Wanted Records. Next one. Morning, Jerry. The evening program is a disgrace to University Radio Station, coming from R. Vibs. The evening program. I don't know. I believe it's certain days of the week you're talking about, you know. Or maybe the 5 days of the week. Well, the evening program is alternate. Well, you are saying it's a disgrace to University Radio Station. But the university would have to allow all views to contend. Yes, okay, I forget that we're supposed to send out happy birthday greetings to Marlene Smith from the people down in the Elton flat. And then right away I see a text message saying the same thing too. Tell Jerry to big up Marlene Smith, yes, from the party fraternity in Elton Flats. Marlene Smith. E.L. Marlene, wagwan. Next one, Bongo. I know Paul Burke is PNP. I hear he was locked up by the police long ago. If this is true, what was he locked up for? You know, I don't remember Paul Burke being locked up by the police. Maybe it's true, I don't remember that. Next one, hail up Bongo Jerry. It sounds like this Henkel glue is a human trap to conquer fools. Please lead the righteous sheep to the promised land. Well, people usually talk about people like sheep, you know, but I don't want my people to be like sheep. Because I know that sheep are very meek and just go as they are bid. And them go like a lamb to the slaughter more time. Don't want that at all. Don't want that. Here next one, you know. Jerry, every day you repeats yourself. I don't know if it's them put on the S on the I repeats. Jerry, every day you repeat yourself, talk out the caller's time and say you're going to cut back. You want the callers to love you, and them cannot repeat nothing, and you go off, you go off and out the caller's time. You go off on a tangent, and then you run out of time. And then the person run out of ink. Next one. Good morning, Jerry. Tell me which self-respecting country Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller could be. You don't know it. You're saying that there's no self-respecting country. Well, as I was saying, and as me and Barack was discussing, popular and articulate people who can communicate and have good relationship with the people are frequently found themselves used by the bigger Babylon. So if a people don't know themselves, general people knowing themselves. No one leader can lead you free up, because the one leader will be used against you. It have to be a movement like what Barack was discussing and describing. A movement, a flood of people throwing up some outstanding people time to time. Yeah, they throw people like Marcus Garvey, people like Rosa Parks and so on. But it was a whole movement of people. We'll come back to that. Hold on. I got to the phone call. And good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello.
Morning.
Yes, welcome, sir.
Welcome to your guest, which I learn is your cousin's husband.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Jamaica, Barack.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I love Jamaica so much. I'm married a Jamaican, okay?
Well, I know God loves Jamaica, too.
Oh, the whole world.
Yeah, Barack.
Yes.
I think the 19th of this month, a man by the name of Minister Farrakhan will be visiting Jamaica.
Yes.
I think he's going to have some gathering in the National Arena. Now, I would like to find out from you, did Mr. Farrakhan play a role in the assassination of Malcolm X?
It's probably the most common asked question. I'm not an expert on it, so I don't want to mislead. I don't want to disrespect anyone. But I'll say that it has been alleged that he knew something about what was going to take place. And I think eventually down the road, he did meet with the family, and they had some type of closure. But to say that he was definitely involved in it, I can't answer that in all fairness.
Okay, quite understandable. There was a lawyer in the United States. I think he was born somewhere around 1893 up to about 1898. He died quite young because I was watching a documentary on him. I think he went to Howard University. Very brilliant black lawyer. He died around 1952 according to the documentary, but I can't remember his name.
52. Any particular case that stands out? Lawyer?
Yes, he helped, later on he helped Martin Luther. He defended Martin Luther, and he defended...
Martin Luther, if he died in 1952.
No, not Martin Luther. There was some incident in the Chicago area.
Consular? No.
Oh, yes, I know of that lawyer that you're talking about.
Yeah, man. Matter of fact, he had a discussion with Norman Manley in his early days because they were about the same age. Brilliant lawyer.
Yes.
There's another lawyer in America, but he's white, named Foreman. Was another brilliant lawyer, but I'm not referring to him. That particular black lawyer. I can't remember his name.
Anyway, I know. Yes, I remember. I know what you're talking about, but everything doesn't come. But thank you very much for raising it here, sir.
Yes, and I hope Mr. Barack will enjoy the rest of his stay.
All right, yes, I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much.
Good. All right, guys.
Good morning and welcome to Straight Up, hello. Morning.
Yeah. So let's say an Empress, man.
Yes, man. Wagwan. Welcome.
There. I have a little thing where I would want to share.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other night, like about 4 nights back, I did a marvel over the moon.
Yeah.
Cause I have it as the highest, one of the highest form of female expression.
Oh yes.
So most time I just look on it and kind of try for over.
Yes, sir.
And just as I looking at the sky,
you're over the moon. You over the moon.
Yeah, to try to over it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when I looking at the sky now, for about 3 seconds, I see something like a bird. Pass in between I and the moon, so you couldn't actually see it. Not for a long time still. But then again, it kind of looked like a bird. But then now, when I check it in my mind, it was not a bird. It looked like a plane because it have too much edges to be a bird.
Yeah, too sharp.
Yeah. So something check back in my mind now, and I remember. So you have 2 drone planes fly up and down in Jamaica, right?
More, yes, 2 or more.
Yeah, 2 or more. So I don't know if them gone or if them still there because it kind of hush. But the thing why I did I mention is, other day, you did have a big protest in Alpha-Tree.
Yeah.
And witnesses saw one of the drone plane.
Yes.
And the purpose of the drone plane was to patrol the
demonstration.
No, the coastline.
Or the coastline, oh.
Yeah, so a demonstration that take place and you see a drone plane patrol the whole entire gathering. So to your guest now, I was asking now if him couldn't speak to that of a plane like that inside of Jamaica where it is a war plane, because before I get the knowledge is like them strap bomb on it and then now undetected they then go drop bomb and kill them enemy.
Alright, give him a chance to see if him can sort it out.
Alright, talking about drone planes, you're talking about the technology of warfare. Technology of warfare has greatly advanced. Okay? Can we control it? No. We can find out more about it, but it's the reality of technology. It's the simplification of engaging in war and the cleansing look of war. It's a drone plane. It flies over, eliminates the massive boots on the ground. Drop a bomb somewhere, it's sterile. It looks like a clean war. That's how we are engaged in fighting now. You look at a young person and look at them engaged in playing video war games. It sort of desensitized people involved in war. The technology of war has greatly advanced, and that is a byproduct of technology and advancing. We go back to the Roman Empire stage and that, but we still take the technology that we have, we advance it, and we use it for the destruction of people rather than the upliftment of people, like a fireworks. Started off with entertainment, then it turned into bombs. So
we have to limit the call through the number of callers, but
okay,
I'm glad you get to put that across, yes sir?
Alright,
yes sir, take care. Good morning, welcome to Straight Up, hello.
Morning, Jerry.
Welcome, Wagwan.
Yeah. Morning, Barack.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. You said a couple of things earlier that I find interesting, you know.
Keep the voice up, guys.
You spoke about Haiti and anywhere resistance come from, they try to suppress that area. And you mentioned the fact that Haiti defeated a world power. But when I hear about Haiti, I always think of Jamaica, because we did that before Haiti, in the sense that we forced the British into a treaty, and the great bookman left from here and went to Haiti and convinced them that it is indeed possible, you know.
You're talking about the Maroons who the British had to come to treat with.
Yes. So, but that's a compromising position that took place. Haiti was a total revolution. You out of here. We run it. This is our country.
Yeah, well, I grant you that, but you know, I still, you see, Bookman is the key for me, you know. Great Zamba Bookman, who came out of Jamaica, went to Haiti, met up with Tissant and Christopher and them, and used the example that we had in Jamaica to show Haiti that, hey, we can beat them, you know.
Yes. Well, you know, the will of the people is stronger than any technology.
Yeah, there was something else, but it's slipping now. But
all right, you know that you're skillful enough to get back before the program finish, Garnet.
Oh, may I allow them enough.
All right, thank you.
I allow them.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Give that.
Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up, hello.
Good morning, Mr. Small, and good morning, Mr. Barr.
Yes, ma'am.
And is your first visit to Jamaica, sir?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's great. So that you mean to say you can answer some of my questions. I grow to understand that we in Jamaica, we are all different nations, and out of many, there is one. Mm-hmm. The one supposed to be the government, I think, supposed to be the government who's supposed to take care of the rest. We have Chinese, we have India, we have Black, we have America, and different.
Yes.
My scare part about this now, Jamaica is on its way to share, and I don't think the government is aware of that.
She mean that, hold on 1 minute, ma'am. She mean that Jamaica is being shared up, is on the way to being shared up between different...
Divided up.
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am, go ahead.
Because we have China, they need the East, yes, and they need another part of the East, like talking about like St. Anne's, talking about like Portland, talking about like Kingston. I think they're supposed to need a piece of the zoo. What them call it again, Mr. Small? Pick me up.
The zoo?
Yeah, I think they need a piece of that. And who to tell they are going to need a piece in the West, like Westmoreland.
Well, you have to keep it simple enough, otherwise my brother not going to be able to follow.
We have the Spanish. Part of those era belongs to the Spanish. And if they come in now and take this and take that, we owe money. And if we owe money, they are not going to pay our bill for us. I think that Jamaica is out to get a war.
All right.
Well, Jamaica could not be engaged in a military war. Is probably engaged in an economical war. Because what does Jamaica produce for the world? Something is lost in there. I know that one main thing is tourism, but tourism cannot be forever your driving train for the future of young Jamaicans. What is the future for young Jamaicans that are attending the University of the West Indies? Are they going to get the education and go abroad? What do they have at home that's going to benefit not just them, but the nation itself?
Well, I have a son leave university, and what he's trying to do now is to get an institution for himself to do the teaching. Right?
Yes.
And how many children have that ability to do things like that?
Well, it's how we encourage young people to do what they need to do.
Well,
all right, we're going to go and try post it out here, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Good morning and welcome to Straight Up, hello.
Morning.
Yeah, welcome.
Morning, Jerry. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, man. I'm here, the medical man always call and tell about people that are supposed to get alkaline, but that's not what I call about. Yeah. The young man there, Mr. Barack Walker there. I went to America in the 66 the first time.
Okay.
So everything he's saying is very, very positive and very educational.
Thank you,
but there's a question I would like to ask him to explain. A little bit about Malcolm X. Not Malcolm X. What's his name? Before Medgar Evers.
Medgar Evers.
A little bit about Medgar Evers. Not much people hear anything about Medgar Evers. That's my question to ask him. You can explain a little thing who Medgar Evers was.
Medgar Evers was the first one to integrate Old Mississippi University. He had no fear. He also encouraged...
In other words, no black students were allowed into Mississippi University.
Yes.
But he
enrolled.
Yeah.
He had no fear. He knew his purpose in life, and he had no fear of death. And as Malcolm X would say, freedom is death.
Right.
And if you want to emancipate or free, you have to understand that maybe you might die in the process.
Yeah.
So quiet heroes in the movement, the human rights movement. If you go to Atlanta, they have a very interesting museum that they built. The Civil Rights and Human Rights Museum. It's a very interesting place. It captures the movement of the late 60s and the early 70s. So I would, any listeners that have that flyover in Atlanta, and you might have 10 hours or 8-hour wait, check out that museum. It's a beautiful educational experience to witness.
Okay. All right. That was my question for you. Have a good, do a good job and continue on. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello. Go ahead, please. Go ahead. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello. Are you there? Welcome. Go ahead to Straight Up. We have some more text message and where we start now. Jerry. But we talked that already. No. Jerry, me I tell you, Jeremy, I tell you, say the police force a Babylon system and 95% of them, the members are boss slave or a boss slave. A boss slave. Never read that through fluently. Jerry, me I tell you, say the police force a Babylon system and 95% of the members are boss slave. A boss slave. Yeah, man, Babylon is much bigger than the police force. Babylon only use the police force. The police force is just a part of Babylon system. Next one. Jerry, tell them to leave Garnet alone. Best Garnet make we know some of them letters are Greek, but it's advanced. Some of them letters there, what? Shot? Some of them, Garnet make we know a lot, and him contribute a lot to the station. So tell them to back off for the man case. I think them hear that clearly. Next one. People should stop living in illusion and stop and bring up all them conspiracy theory about plague upon Jamaica. That lady should understand and realize that the chickpea disease also affected other countries long before it came there. We as citizens should clean up our environment, because when we hurt the environment, it will turn and hurt us, and it will in turn hurt us as humans. Yeah, that's why I question people who come with these theories and suspicion and superstition all the while. I'm not disputing them, just trying to help them to question themselves and try to help them to realize where these ideas come from into them head. And these feeling and some of these feeling and ideas make people feel comfortable. And them entertain them without thinking about them. Next one. Epiphany means you are in my presence. So act accordingly. Today's word is Eucharist. What is it? Eucharist? You talk about communion and bread and body of Christ and them things. You explain. Next one. You, Jerry. You know saying no business, huh? Alright, go hold it there. Let's go back to the telephone. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Good morning.
Welcome.
Yes, Bongo. Everything good?
Fine, thank you. No complaint.
Yeah, you know, sir, I burn a fire upon the Jamaica Constabulary Force.
Yeah?
So-called police, state for the agent. You know what I see them are doing, right?
Yeah.
I drive up and down the road, a bus, see a gunshot.
Which road that? Which road? Which road that?
The community.
Which road that?
I hear in a puppy. I don't want to really divulge.
Alright, yes, okay, go ahead.
Come terrorize the youth, but I say,
yeah.
Them terrible, man, because them say them a peacekeeper. I drive on a bus shot, I find people, I terrorize the community.
Yeah.
You know them way, they're not a good man at all. So what them expect the youth them to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a couple of them, they do have somebody here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because them draw the youth them in criminality. I try frame the youth them for them to do. You see me there? Yeah, man, I have to burn a fire upon them.
Well, hear this now. Hear this now. Hear this one. Hear this one. Hear this now. Hear this. I grew up in Jamaica, and from here youth have experience of a lot of this police terrorism.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me a little. Now the police, a lot of the police terrorize the citizens and the young people. A lot of them. Terrorize the citizens and the young people.
So true. Come out.
No, allow me, because I listen out.
Alright.
A lot of the police terrorize the citizens and the young people of Jamaica, especially the males. Now, yet of the young males in Jamaica terrorize the community also. terrible and dreadful, like the police. A lot of the young man them out there same like Babylon. I don't know which one different or which one worse. A whole lot of the allow me little. Whole lot of the young man them out there terrorize the citizens, terrorize them own community, rape, rob, shoot and kill, just like the Babylon them. I don't know which one worse.
Well, I would have said the Babylon wicked, because them supposed to be peacekeepers.
Hold on a little. Me is a freedom fighter from my youth.
Yeah, defend that.
Love me little man, you can't talk for me. I'm a freedom fighter from my youth. And I tell you it's a disgrace what some of the young man them will say. Them a fight for people and them a fight for people. It's a disgrace what some of them do. And it's not now. This generation is not the first. It's decades now it a go on. Decades now it a go on. And I don't know which one worse. Some of the young man them are middle age and old man them will terrorize them own community. Or the police where Babylon will terrorize the community. I don't know which one worse. Yes, I know, but I know you don't want to face. I know you don't want to face certain things. You hear me now?
Yeah.
From before you were born, I experienced them things. Sure. And the two sides of them are Babylon. The two sides of them are Babylon.
Sure.
Let's go for a break. Welcome back to Straight Up. You hear me now? The PNP and the JLP, two murderous gang. Murderous gang. You have a next one name all the WPJ. Them two come use the people and use the youth same way. Murderous and push up themselves up in the society. And the youth, and I blame the youth them, you know, but a time now, and I blame the youth them, but a time now you know yourself. The whole of you is like a part of Babylon. The whole of you. Part of Babylon bleeding out your own people. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Hello?
Welcome.
Yes, Jay, I heard this Dr. Knife yesterday talking about Bedward, Marcus Garvey, and Walter Rodney. But as far as I am concerned, where Bedward is concerned, this singer expressed, Bedward, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Right? What night and day. I believe I can fly. That's what Bedward was doing. Bedward never done nothing sensible. He was a madman. But I can agree now with Walter Rodney. He was trying something good, but they end up crashing the JOS buses down at Walton Park Road and Spanish Town Road. But Marcus Garvey is the man for the hour and for the time. Marcus Garvey is great. Right? But Bedward never do nothing good, but trying to fly. Him didn't have no wings. That's all I have to say.
No, hold on. Don't leave it. Don't leave it.
Not Marcus Garvey, Bedward.
Yeah, you mix up. Don't leave it. Now, you mentioned about a singer. What you say about singer?
The singer, present day singer, expressed it, that I believe I can fly.
Yeah.
Express Bedward, what Bedward wanted to do.
Yeah. All right, hold on now. So, where you learn about Bedward?
We are learning about Bedward right in Jamaica.
Where?
In Jamaica.
Where?
In Jamaica.
Where you learn about Bedward?
In Jamaica, right when we live in Jamaica.
Where he was living?
We won't know that, but that's not necessary.
Oh.
That's not necessary. That's unnecessary.
A Babylon teach about Bedward, man.
Babylon?
Yeah.
What good? You tell me something good about Bedward.
You ever come to Augustown yet?
Yes, I've been to Augustown.
And when you come to Augustown, what you learn about Bedward?
I never learn anything specially more than anywhere.
What you came to Augustown for?
I go to Augustown to look for somebody.
That's what you came to Augustown for?
Yes, why not?
Yes, okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, but you never took the opportunity to learn anything about Bedward. Now hear this now. You know churchyard?
Mm-hmm.
You know what name, sir?
I'm not sure.
No. You know Berry?
No.
You know Bedward pasture?
No, not sure.
And yet you tell me that you know about Bedward.
I never know what no other place to read about Bedward.
Read. Babylon text you read, man. Babylon text you read.
Tell me something about Bedward then.
No, you're not ready yet, man.
Well, you can't tell me nothing about Bedward, so what me hear about him.
Okay, I agree. Thank you very much, yeah?
All right, I'm listening for you to tell me more about Bedward anyway.
Yes. All right. Yes, sir. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up, hello?
Yeah, man, Mr. Small. The only thing about it now, I probably waited all of my credit for a year or so of garbage, man. I might get run out without even getting a chance to fully express as I wanted to express. I just wanted the bridging to probably share with us, man, any idea that would help us fix the jail situation where too much people dying in jails. What is being done in the States to prevent it and what we could do here. Not sure if I'm going to be able to say anything yet.
What is going on in America as far as the prison system?
Dying. Too many people dying in jail in Jamaica. What can you teach us with your American experience?
That would be too hypocritical for me to talk about how to improve the jail system in Jamaica when the jail system in America is in total disarray.
Exactly so.
Yes, it's the new plantation. Young people are arrested for various crimes. If they don't have a lawyer, they're going to sit and rot in jail. It's like I say, it's the runaway slave. Catch them and lock them up. It's an industrial complex in America. They build prison systems in predominantly all white neighborhoods to provide jobs for those in that community.
So are you saying that the most of the population inside of the prison are innocent people who never go there for any offense?
Well, if you were to take a DNA sample of people in prison, you would find out a great majority of them have been locked up under strange or unusual situations, and they probably would be released.
Yeah.
The prison system is just about black people in any country.
Can you believe this? That the African population in the United States is about what, 10%?
Somewhere around there.
And yet they are far more than half of the prison population.
It's a job. Take the situation in Ferguson. Predominantly, 3 officers on the whole police force. Out of, I think, 40 or 50 people, only really 2 officers that were people of color.
Yeah. If you take millions of people, and you capture them and have them in slavery, and when you let them go out of slavery, you don't compensate them. They don't get any land to own, and they don't get the mule that you promised them on the piece of land. Yeah. And you have them there, and you need people to work for you for low wages. So they are willing to work for low wages, less than what they can mind their family. It's no surprise. I have to go to another phone call. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Yeah, morning, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Quickly, in regards to the caller I was speaking of drones.
Yeah.
Well, I never saw the thing in Africa, and I have not seen any pictures of it or anything. But I know that there are civilians who actually own drones, because there are different types. You have military versions. Those are the ones that, like, the U.S. Army would use to bomb places. But you also have citizens that can get drones to purchase. These are not the 6-winged ones. These are the ones that look somewhat similar to a remote helicopter.
Yeah, they are helicopters.
Right. I have a friend, but there are some fixed-wing ones as well.
Yeah, planes. There are planes and helicopters.
Right. I have a friend in Florida that is in the field of land surveying, and he operates 2 of those. In addition to that, you spoke of the right to bear arms in the United States of America. I think that most cities and most countries across the world are being militarized now, in that the governments are somewhat going in on these people and restricting their rights and making it a privilege to do that. And even George Washington said in a speech, I don't have the exact details of it, or else I would read it to you, where he said that the right to bear arms is not necessarily to protect against another citizen, but it's also to protect against tyrannical government. And so you see why.
But at the time he was probably talking to an all-white audience. He wasn't just speaking of color.
Yeah, but that's just a thought, and you can see how it applies to our situation where the world is concerned right now.
Yeah, and just as how all human beings all over the world usually have the right and usually exercise the right to bear arms. People all over the world, them tribes, walking with them spear, and them sword and them animal, them hunt dog and then them way free.
Whatever.
But international Babylon gradually invade the whole world and disarm the whole world except Babylon army and police and want the whole world must be disarmed except for those who is the palace guard of Babylon.
Quite so, Jerry.
Yeah, but I have to go here, sir.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. Hello?
Hello?
Welcome.
Yes, Jerry Wagwan.
Fine, thank you.
Long time I no call you, but now for just be quick. Now talk to the President Obama, yeah. Barack.
Barack, are you talking?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Presidente. No, there are two things I'm going to ask quickly. I want to know if John Hanson was the first black president of the United States or George Washington. Yeah, that is one. The second thing, I heard in the 60s that the United States government put out the vaccine for tuberculosis, yeah? And they use it on some black people to test it to see if it could work.
All right, give him some time to answer.
Okay, all right.
All right, first black president of the United States? Some people say Abraham Lincoln. I don't have the DNA, so I can't answer that question.
Next one about biological.
Biological warfare has been a part of most conquering people's systems, whether it was the United States giving Indian blankets filled with smallpox. It is well documented.
All right.
So it was, I told you that it was John Hanson, the first black president, and George Washington was the
no, listen. Listen.
By voting.
Yeah, listen. He said that he doesn't have any DNA to prove these things. You know, but these things are we have heard of.
I never read a book. I was speaking about J.J. Rogers.
Oh yes.
J.A. Rogers. Yeah.
So you should get some information in that.
I'm familiar with that, but I still have to say I don't have the documentation.
And the next thing I'm saying, if I even read Marcus Garvey book, I'm going to test the information. And if I read even the Bible, I'm going to test the information. I'm not going to swallow it whole.
That is true. But information about the black people, them.
No, I really have.
America, they always,
we really have to go now.
Put it back we
have to go now. I'm so sorry. I really have to cut it here now. I'm so sorry because time short. We have a whole heap of things to do. But most interesting, and as usual, he's an interesting call. I think him drive a trailer in America. You know? He's calling from America.
Oh, okay.
Straight up. Yes, I'm going to run through some text messages here fast because time is tight. Next one. Jerry. Yo, Jerry, I know say you no business with the home of them, you know. But I true you can't say nothing bad about them. You want me to say something bad about them? Then, all right, pull me string then no, and tell me what to say about them. Since you can't pull my string, and since I'm afraid to talk why I feel like talk. Try again next time. Next one. Good morning, Jerry. My neighbor has symptoms 10 days now and has not seen a doctor. Has fever, joint pain, headache, deliriousness, swelling both hands and feet, freshness in the mouth, lack of appetite, running belly, vomiting and rash. Still no doctor's visit. What do you mean that can't bother visit or can't afford it or home remedy? I'm still not getting the... I'm glad for the information, but I don't get the full sense of it. But it... Good information. I think this applies to a lot of people. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Hello? Good morning. Welcome. Straight Up. Hello? We're going to play a piece of music for Barack before we leave here. So, good morning. Welcome. Go ahead, please. Welcome. Good morning and welcome to Straight Up. I kind of hear a sound, but not hearing a plane.
Hello?
Yes, welcome. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. I'm hearing you, man. Go ahead, man.
Mr. Small?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, man. I'm hearing you.
All right. Them read the book. But them head gone. Now this brother we call you, him go Augustown.
Yeah.
Visit.
Yes, sir. Oh.
You come out time you tell them about Bedward, the truth about them.
Yeah.
But them not hear. Them hear what them want to hear.
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Walker Small.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Mr. Walker Small.
Yeah, my name is good. I'm good.
Hello, sir.
Hello, I'm here. I'm listening. Let's go.
You see? You ever hear about this brother who is in charge of the American Army? Will it come down here?
You mean Powell? Or Colin Powell or Gary Cooper?
a film star.
No, man, the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to Jamaica.
About Colin Powell.
Yeah, okay.
Don't him came to Jamaica?
Yeah.
Don't him, when I tell him, then it was, in other words, then I don't know if it's a rumor or true, that he was supposed to run for the president of America?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Black like tar.
No.
He black like you then.
No, he's not black like tar. He's a Jamaican. He's a Jamaican, African Jamaican. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now you see, as me say, read and weep. Mind what you read. Because like, you see, everybody is born with an extra paint on them. Burn out the paint. Born black. Want to get white. Mind with the European then. Teach you and you believe. Hello, Jerry, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Just see you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Welcome to Straight Up. Not there? Yes, I'm going to play. What's that piece of music name again? Tell me the name of it.
Let me shoot this out to all the listeners out there. Get involved in your community. Get involved. Help a young person. Know the process. Get involved. That's what the power of radio is all about.
Yeah, man. Good. We're going to play a little piece of music here. Tell us a little about it.
Gil Scott-Heron, he's the one that made the statement that the revolution will not be televised, but he also did one winner in America. And in a lot of ways, there's a winner going on in America.
Isn't he a poet?
Yes.
Poet,
yes.
Yeah.
Passed away.
Yeah.
But left some powerful music, which is missing in the world. Powerful music that's not focusing on sexual drives or things along that line, but music that's good for the consciousness.
Yeah, that's great. No, I think we have a few more text messages. Let us see if we can get them there. Yes. Next one. Jerry, what happened to Wanga? I don't hear him since we're there. You ban him or something, my boss? No, man, we're not ban him. We're not ban him. Probably him sick. Maybe him have the virus. Maybe have the virus, yeah. Next one, Mr. Small. There is 2 colleges in New York named after Medgar Evers. One Love, yeah? I think, yeah, that sounds familiar, true. Next one. Jerry, there is no big popularity about Porsche. People just say all their life, what? People just say all their life is man running the country, so they're going to give her a try, and she tell lie about Jeep and JPS. Next one. But my understanding that she have one of the highest popularity. She has had from time to time one of the highest popularity rate in Jamaica, up and down, as I say. But in the realms of what you call it now, of Michael Manley and Buster Manley, yeah. But maybe higher than them at the highest point. Next one. I think that African American lawyer's name is Thurgood Marshall, the first black Supreme Court judge. David from Kingston. No, Thurgood Marshall lived far longer than 1952. But it's true that he's a famous black American lawyer. But because him light skin and him hair wavy, some people might not call him black. Because you know people have all different qualifications for black. Next one, Jerry, your guest sounds just like Louis Farrakhan coming from Howard. So you got that laugh there. All right, stop now. All right, no, you can't laugh, man. You can't laugh all you want. Laugh all the way to the bank and go cash Farrakhan check. Next one, hail the man, Jerry. After Haiti gained their independence, they were forced to pay a lot of money to compensate France. Can you elaborate on this? Coming from 200 pounds. What you say is quite true. France bleed them out with the assistance of England and America. Back them down with some big gunboat and bleed out all of the money from them. Bleed out the money from them as a penalty of winning the war against France. And they have never recovered from that. Next one. Oh, hey, Mr. Small, good day. Send birthday greetings to Tiana Bruce, who celebrates her birthday today, October 7th, from Pauline and Bruce. Pauline and Bruce? Okay, Tiana Bruce, probably parents. Okay, happy birthday greetings to Tiana Bruce. Well, we're going to pay a piece of Gil Scott-Heron. I want to thank Barack for coming here. I want to thank also my producer, Tanya Richards, and our production Assistant for today, Alex Reed. Broadcast technician, Kevin Williams. So we're going to hear a piece of Gil Scott-Heron. I don't think we can play all night.
No, just
but have another little piece of music to play.
Something to whet the appetite.
Yeah, man. So whenever you're back in town, you come put in some time here, not true?
Sounds good to me.
Yes, sir. And if Farrakhan don't come, we can put you on the stage there with
I'm closer probably to Muhammad Ali than Louis Farrakhan.
All right. Yes, thank you very much. So this is Gil Scott-Heron. Straight.
Thank you very much. For the last few years, we have been doing a song that concerns the fact that the seasons have been affected recently. Don't seem to have spring like you used to, or summer or fall. It has been a season collectively of frozen aspirations and frozen hopes. We'd like to do a song for you about the season that we're trying to get over. It's called Winter in America.
Good afternoon. It's time for the midday news here on News Talk 93 FM. I'm Errol Lee. Coming up in this newscast, Teachers Colleges sign a memorandum of understanding with the University of the West Indies to standardize degree program. Ministry of Health intensifies screening of inbound passengers in an effort to protect Jamaica's borders against a possible spread of Ebola. Concerns raised about Derek Kelly's appointment as Agriculture Minister, and Court of Appeal workers complain about poor working conditions.